Okay, so I wanted to start this video off by just saying that apparently I was wrong about something, and I'm being told now that this girl here in the orange is actually Erica. Now, I haven't seen the police interview to know for certain if that is her, but that's what everybody is saying, so let's just go with that. Okay, so we're about to get into some really deep looking into stuff and breaking things down, so bear with me. First, I want you to go ahead and watch this section of video.
So they had her go to the bathroom. About 10 minutes later, hey, are you okay? Check on her. She's like, yeah, didn't want to come out, didn't want to come out. Gave her another, like, I guess 10 minutes. And then they said, wouldn't open the door. The housekeeper cleaned up the floor and everything first. And then when she put all her stuff into the trash can, that's when she felt how heavy it was. And then she looked and that's what she saw.
Okay, so I had to stop my yard work because I really want to get into this with a lot of the comments and everything that were going on. I just felt that this was really important to get into. So the reason why I wanted you to hear that section of video is for two things. One, the cop says that when somebody knocked on the door, she was saying, it won't come out, it won't come out. I'll just leave that there. The other thing that he said was that when the cleaning lady was done cleaning the bathroom or whatever, that she had put all of her stuff into the trash bin and then picked it up and realized how heavy it is. I didn't hear that originally in any of the statements, but I don't know if he spoke with her outside of something that we're not seeing. Now, this next section I did an overlay. So I put the surveillance video with both of her police statements. And I want you to look at the surveillance video, listen to what she says, and tell me if you see anything that doesn't match up.
So that's what I was doing, and the last thing I was going to do was throw the trash. And when I picked up the trash, I thought it was heavy. And so I started looking in there, and on the very bottom, she had it covered with some toilet paper. And that's when I called Lori and told her to come and look.
Okay. So did you look inside of it at all or anything like that?
Yeah, I looked inside of it, and there's where I seen something, on the very bottom of the toilet paper that covered it up in a plastic bag.
Okay. When you looked at it, did you see that it was a baby, or what did you think? You knew already? Okay.
My trash first, but for some reason that night I had to clean the floor up and everything else. And when I went to go through the trash, I felt that when I picked up the trash and I looked in it, there was trash in it. But I knew that it didn't feel like when I picked it up, it was some weight. So I thought it was the trash bags, because we put the trash bags on the bottom. And so I started getting the trash out, and then when I did that, I seen that there was a baby in there.
So both times she talks about looking in and actually seeing the baby. I just don't understand how that's possible with the baby being twisted and tied and all this other kind of stuff. Now, we know that HT never admits to untying the bag until after he brings it into the resuscitation room and before he calls the doctor. That never happened. But with the cleaning lady, I don't know. We have the picture of the bag, and it was open inside the bathroom after Alexee left. And the cleaning lady never mentions anything about what she supposedly did with the top liner, because the top liner is no longer there when that garbage can comes out into the hallway. So I don't know. Did she tie it up? Did she not? Did she just pull the top liner off? Whatever happened, nobody talks about what happened with that top liner. And I don't know. This is completely going out on a limb here, not blaming anybody or anything else, but if the cleaning lady went ahead and put her stuff in there and tied it up and moved it out, if you look at the video, something catches her attention. I don't know if it just clicked, but it was a couple of minutes later before she just kind of glances over at the garbage can and sees this and is like calling people over. So I don't know. Could she have put stuff in there, tied it up, brought it out? Possibility. And if she did, why wouldn't she just say that? I don't know. Maybe she was scared. Afraid that maybe she tampered with some evidence, or doesn't want to be the odd person out because everybody else's story is saying something else. I honestly don't know. All I know is what I see. I know that she keeps talking about putting trash in there, lifting up the bag, feeling it was heavy, but none of that occurred on camera. The bag was in the bathroom. The bag came out of the bathroom. She goes back into the bathroom. She cleans. Somewhere around 2 or 3 minutes later, or I don't know, maybe it's like 1.5 to 2 minutes later. I'm sorry. I might be a little off on that. But regardless, she then comes back and just kind of glances and is like, oh, wait, and then calls people. So we never see her touch that bag once it's in the hallway. So the only 2 questions I have, again, is where is the top liner and what actually made her look in that garbage can? What caught her attention after she had already moved it out a couple of minutes ago? So the last question everybody keeps asking is, why does this even matter? This is what she did. You're absolutely right. It does not change the fact that she put a baby in that can. Doesn't change it at all. But what it will change for the defense is exactly how the baby passed. If the Emmy's report is correct, because if in fact baby was in the top liner covered with toilet paper, then that matters. Did cleaning lady tie it? Did Alexee tie it? All of these, was it underneath? Was it on top? All of these things matter. And if nobody can actually get to the bottom of it, it's going to make a huge difference for the defense. And it's going to put a lot of damage on the state's case. And for the love of God, please stop talking about how all of the people made their statements and they said X, Y, and Z. Because at the end of the day, almost all of these statements are going to be shredded by the defense team in court. We already know the CNA lied, so just forget that you heard her statement. At this point, you need to just throw that one out the window. That doesn't even exist. We know that there are a lot of inconsistencies in the charge nurse's statements, and honestly, there's some blatant lies in there. I mean, he straight up made this whole thing about how he checked the baby and he did all this stuff and then called the doctor. None of that was true. So when you have a few inconsistencies here or there, okay, that's fine. But when you have a bunch of inconsistencies and you put them together, trust me, the defense is going to shred that apart. And all of those inconsistencies are all going to be put together as one big lie. So they easily are going to try to throw out HT's statement. And yes, these are not sworn statements. We are going to have to wait for the depositions, but they are going to be used against every single one of them. And so that's why we can't say, but CNA said this and this person said that. They all said different things at different times. And none of it really matches up to what surveillance video shows. And at the end of the day, are you going to believe what you're hearing from them, or are you going to believe what you see? You have to actually come and look at the video and look at the evidence and make that decision, which is what I'm trying to do here, is put everything together so we can see it all. So apparently in the last video, I didn't notice that I forgot to do the overlay. So here it is, so everybody can see exactly what she was saying versus what the surveillance was saying. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, please go back and watch the video before this.
And the last thing I was going to do was throw the trash. And when I picked up the trash, I thought it was heavy. And so I started looking in there, and on the very bottom, she had it covered with some toilet paper. And that's when I called Lori and told her to come and look.
Okay. So did you look inside of it at all or anything like that?
Yeah, I looked inside of it, and there's where I seen something, on the very bottom of the toilet paper that covered it up in a plastic bag.
Okay. When you looked at it, did you see that it was a baby, or what did you think? You knew already? Okay.
My trash first, but for some reason that night I had to clean the floor up and everything else. And when I went to go through the trash, I felt that when I picked up the trash and I looked in it, there was trash in it. But I knew that it didn't feel like when I picked it up, it was some weight. So I thought it was the trash bags, because we put the trash bags on the bottom. And so I started getting the trash out, and then when I did that, I seen that there was a baby in there.